and welcome to my channel, Naughty Gnome Crafts. My name is Sarah, and you can find me on Instagram as Naughty Gnome. My channel is all about sewing, and so if you're a new or returning viewer, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that you'll stick around. I have a review for you today, but before we get started, I just want to tell you quickly what I'm wearing. This is the assembly line puff sleeve shirt that I made in March, and I do have a little bit of details on making this shirt in my March makes video, so I will link that up above. And I also have a photo that I'll insert here so you can see what it looks like on. The fabric is a rayon linen blend, and this was a part of a needle sharp box. It was my first time subscribing to the box, and I went ahead and made up the top, and I absolutely love this shirt. It's really beautiful and it's very comfortable to wear, and I love this color. So today's review is going to be on McCalls 8180, which is the McCalls top. I made view C out of some Rayon Dobby fabric that I got from Joann's. This is my top. I used white for the main body of the shirt, obviously, and then I did a contrasting black collar, black cuffs, and then black buttons. And I do like the way that that contrast detail with the buttons and the cuffs like ties in, because originally I was just gonna do the collar in black, but I think that might have looked a little bit strange. So I'm glad I added those extra details. I was actually inspired to sew this shirt because I saw a picture of Kate Middleton who was wearing a similar shirt. It wasn't exactly the same, but basically it was a white blouse that had kind of a black statement collar. I think her collar was a little bit smaller and it had scallops rather than ruffles. But I just really liked the concept of doing the white shirt with the black details, because most of these like giant collar shirts that I've seen, it's been the opposite. It's been a black shirt with white details, and I just thought the reverse was just like interesting to me, so I wanted to try it out. And this McCalls pattern is part of their new spring line, and when the pattern came out, I was like, yes, I'm going to get that and try it because it's something new I've never really worn before, and I can see if I like it. So I made the size 8, which has a finished garment measurement of 34.5 inches at the bust and 39.5 inches at the, I guess like it says, it's like the hip level, but the top actually doesn't go down to the hip. It's more like high hip level. So at the bottom of this shirt, it's 39.5 inches. I was a little bit concerned that that might be too tight, but I think because it does hit me at that high hip that was fine, and I didn't struggle with it being too tight or anything. As far as the construction details go, this is actually it's a relatively simple shirt to do. I took my time on the collar ruffles, and I did 3 lines of gathering stitches just to make it so that I could control the gathers and make them super even on the collar, and I think that that turned out well. The only issue that I had that was a mistake was I put it at the end of the pattern. It just says to like put the buttons and buttonholes on the cuffs, and there is a diagram, but I want to say that they only show a picture of one of the cuffs, so you don't know which one is which. And I basically what I did was I put the buttonholes on the wrong side of what you would normally have. So when you go to button it, it's a little bit awkward because I'm expecting the buttonholes to be on the opposite side, if that makes any sense. It might have just been my mistake. I am not always the best about following instructions. Like I usually start out strong, and then the further along I get into the garment, I sort of get into this mode where I'm like, oh, I know what I'm doing. I don't need to look at the instructions. So I don't read them super carefully. So that totally could have been my mistake, but I do think maybe they could have made it a little bit more clear as to which side you're supposed to put in the buttons and buttonholes on. That's just what I think. As far as the fit goes, the size 8 is my normal size for Big 4 patterns. I think it's important to note that the body measurements, my body measurements actually fit into a size 10 pretty well. The body measurements for size 10 are 32.5 at the bust, 25-inch waist, and 34.5-inch hip. And that's relatively close to my measurements. However, experience has taught me that I nearly always need to go down a size in big 4 patterns because their sizing is off. And it's not just the amount of wearing ease that they add is too much. It's also like, if I were to make the size 10, it would be too big in the shoulder and it would like fall off my shoulders. The size 8 actually fits me properly in the shoulder. So I have no idea why their sizing is messed up, and it might be different for you than it is for me. So always check the finished garment measurements. But for me personally, I pretty much always know that in big 4, I need to go down a size. So that's what I did, and the fit of this is pretty good. I shortened the sleeves by 3 inches, which is another normal alteration that I do for big 4 because I have very short arms. And so for long sleeves, I always need to shorten 3 inches. However, I will say that in this top, I might have only needed to shorten like 2.5 inches. It's like on the edge of being almost too short, but I think that it's fine. It doesn't look like obviously too short, but I think for comfort level, on this top, I may have actually been better off shortening 2.5 inches in the sleeve instead of 3, but it's fine. I think that was the only alteration that I made. I didn't alter the length. I did think about lengthening it because just like if I wanted to tuck it in or something, but at the last minute I decided I was too lazy, so I didn't alter the length. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say about the construction and the fit. Now, as far as the style goes, I will say that when I'm recording this right now, I have not yet done my little styling part of the video, where at the end of the video, I'm going to be inserting footage of me wearing this top in 3 different ways. And sometimes when I do that, I do actually find that whatever I've made the piece is really versatile. I can wear it with lots of different things, and it changes my opinion of how I feel about a garment. So I haven't done that yet, but just trying it on with like jeans and looking in the mirror, I don't really know if I like this. I kind of, like I told you about my inspiration with like the Kate Middleton top, and I do like the idea of having the white blouse with the black accents, but in practice, I kind of feel like maybe it's too much, that like the boldness of the contrast along with the giant collar is just, it stands out too much for my personal taste. I wonder if I just made the whole thing in a solid white, if I might feel differently. I don't know. But I do know like that just putting it on with jeans and looking in the mirror, I'm just kind of like, I don't know about this. So let me know what you think in the comments. I mean, I'm totally open to like, you know, constructive criticism is fine. I just said that I don't even know if I like it. But yeah, like, I'm glad that I like to try new styles. I don't want my style to ever be stagnant. And so I'm okay with like making a few things that just aren't really my thing or they don't suit me. I did worry that this giant collar was going to be a little bit too juvenile because I'm such a short person that I have to be really careful with the styles that I wear, that I don't look like a child when I make my clothes or wear my clothes. And I kind of, my instinct is that this top is a little bit too far in the toddler direction from what I want. I've seen it other people wear similar blouses and they look gorgeous and they don't look like children, but just for my personal style and my look, I worry that it's not the right look for me. But I definitely am still glad that I made it. I will give it a try. Every time I make something new, even if I'm not like immediately in love with it, I do tend to wear it a few times just to see if I kind of grow into liking it. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. Not everything is going to be a winner, you know, right off the sewing machine, and that's fine. But yeah, I will definitely insert some footage of me wearing this top and styling it in different ways, and I'm really interested in your feedback. Please let me know in the comments what you think of it, if you liked any of the looks, if you think that it's a style that suits me, because I'm kind of really undecided at this point. So I think that's everything that I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. I'll see you next time.